Hey guys, so it's the day after my hospital visit. As I've said, I think before in previous videos, I work in the ER now as a unit clerk. And about an hour before I was supposed to get off shift, I realized that I wasn't feeling too great. I really hadn't felt great to begin with because I was in a lot of pain the night before and I wasn't able to sleep, and so I didn't fall asleep until 2, and then I went to sleep at 2 and I woke up at 5:40. So I was only working on like 3.5 hours of sleep or something like that. And so one of the things that I've noticed personally is that if I am sleep deprived, I'm much more symptomatic. And if I'm in pain, I'm a lot more symptomatic. So it was the perfect storm. When I woke up that morning, I had a feeling that maybe something was going to go down, and I was just really hoping I was wrong. And I was doing really well for the most part, and then it all just kind of went downhill. So it was, gravity getting heavier and my heart racing and palpitating and, the tingling in my hands, my face. And so I knew what was going down. And so usually if I have enough time, I'll squat down so that if I do fall, I'm only falling from a really low position versus falling from a standing position. And then I had one of the techs come over and I basically said, I think I'm going to pass out. And so I ended up lying down on the floor. And then the way that I met one of the doctors that I haven't met before was that he deadlifted me princess style from the floor to the bed. And I'm so mortified. I know how to make friends, let me tell you. But yeah, never met this doctor before so far, and while I've been working there, and managed to meet him in the most embarrassing way possible. So because we were so full of patients, I ended up getting put in the trauma bay, and that's where I stayed. And so I ended up getting 2 boluses, which basically means that they run IV fluids at a fairly high rate. And I was still feeling really worn down and still felt like I wasn't very stable, but I was no longer in immediate danger of passing out. And then, me being me, I did it on a Friday, and I did it during a blizzard where we had whiteout conditions most places, and both highways were closed down, and most of the roads to get back home were impassable. So I ended up having to call a friend to come pick me up, and then I ended up staying at their house until the storm passed. So that's what I was doing all of last night. So today I'm feeling pretty bloodless, pretty tired, but doing better. And I always tend to do better after I get IV fluids. Unfortunately, I just don't have the option of just getting IV fluids when I feel like there's a episode coming on, because I can usually tell at least a couple hours before, if not a day or so. And I usually have certain signs that I'm going in that direction, where I'm starting to lose sleep, I'm starting to get worn down, I start to take naps during the day, just sort of that thing. So it's not entirely surprising that I had one. It was just frustrating because I had been doing so well and I hadn't had an episode since my first blood patch. But in some ways, it's a clear indication, both to me and most likely for my doctor, that doing this fibrin patch is the right thing to do, and that we're on the right track, and that yes, the blood patches haven't worked. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So Because it happened at work, I ended up getting breathalyzed and drug tested, which is just all kinds of fun. And you absolutely leave the hospital with dignity, right? Yeah, absolutely. You know, all of my coworkers watching me pee in a bedpan. But what are you gonna do? And because that is our job, their job, they don't take it personally or take it weird. It's just part of the job. So if anyone's got any weird feelings about it, it's just me. But yeah, so now I have to do a follow-up with my cardiologist, even though I don't see the point, because since it's a pre-existing condition and I'm on all of the meds that I'm supposed to be on, I'm not sure why I would need to update them, but they told me to, so that's what I'm going to do. And something I didn't notice until today was that I also have to make an appointment with occupational health. And I'm not sure why either. I'm pretty sure it's probably so they can clear me to go back to work, but it's still very annoying. It really was not something I wanted to do this week. So I'm supposed to go to 2 different doctor's appointments this week. I managed to have an episode with my compression stockings on and my Mitadrin on board and being hydrated. So this was one of those situations where I did everything right within reason, because I couldn't do anything about the pain level and I couldn't do anything about the lack of sleep I'd had the night before, but I did everything I was supposed to and it just didn't turn out well. So it is what it is. So hopefully I don't get a whole bunch of flack for, you know, the episode, and hopefully occupational health doesn't give me a fight. So crossing my fingers and hoping for a better day. So that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated.